Hello, this is Mayor Johnny Ford, bringing you another report from City Hall, from the Utilities Board, from Head Start, indeed all of city government. I want to first say happy birthday, belated birthday, to Mrs. Amelia Boynton Robinson. Mrs. Amelia Boynton Robinson, who is an outstanding civil rights pioneer, who has just been a great leader for most of her adult life. I understand she has been hospitalized. She is experiencing and living her 103rd year birthday. That's really something. 103 years old. Happy birthday, Mrs. Robinson, Mrs. Amelia Boynton Robinson. Happy birthday from all of us here in Tuskegee, Alabama. We love you very much. While I'm thinking of her, recently you saw the paving and the resurfacing of Old Franklin Road, which is now named Amelia Boynton Robinson Parkway in honor of Mrs. Boynton. That paving was done as a result of a grant that we received from the state of Alabama, the Highway Department, the Department of Transportation, and it gives it a very smooth ride because we all know how bad that road was. It's going to take us some time to pave all the streets and fix all the streets in Tuskegee. I want all of you to know that we're going to keep trying until we do make a dent in the number that we have that are still in need of repair, still in need of being fixed. Someone was giving me a hard time the other day about how bad our streets are in Tuskegee. I know they are bad. We're trying to do the very best that we can. We are working with a county that has an asphalt plant. Our goal is hopefully to enter into an arrangement with the county so that we can jointly share that asphalt plant, and that way we'll be able to get asphalt much quicker and on a more consistent basis. So just be patient with us. We're getting to it. Now in the meantime, each of our council districts, all three of the districts, you have, four of the districts, you have, well, three districts. Each of you have a council person. Mr. Haygood is at large, and yours truly, we're at large. But the three council districts, please be in touch with either Council Lady Whitehead, Council Lady Moon, or Council Member Lee. Let them know what your concerns are about streets, and indeed anything that occurs in your neighborhood or in your community, because the council members were elected by you to represent you and to champion your causes. And what you need to do is attend those neighborhood meetings, or just call them or email them. Be in touch with them, because they are the ones who set the priorities for their respective council districts. They decide which streets they'd like to recommend to be paved or repaired first, and if there are any kind of problems, this is the way this system of government works. We have the three council people who run by districts. The pro tem, Mr. Haygood, is our pro tem at large, and then of course yours truly. Now my major job is trying to find the money overall and to promote the kind of policies that would generate the money we need to pay for all of this. And of course the council is involved in that process as well. But it is a responsibility of the mayor to set the stage and to try to make sure that our city has the money it needs to carry out the functions and the responsibility of our city government. Since we're talking about the financial status of our city, I'm pleased to report that we are paying our bills and meeting our obligations. The summer months that's the time when our cash flow is lowest. Our highest time for revenue in our budget cycle is in the fall, when ad valorem taxes, you can begin to pay those in the fall. And also the fall of the year is when the students are back from the university, and the faculty staff is fully staffed, and everyone is back at the university. And also it's a time when schools are back in, and all of those factors affect our cash flow. When we have more people in town spending money and doing things, that generates the taxes and the revenue for the city. So it's been lean during the summer. We're coming into our stronger months, and then after the first of the year, that's really when people begin to pay their privilege license to do business in our city, as well as by that time taxes are really due, because they're due by the end of the month and by the end of the year, and they really begin to pay them. It's also a time when we kick off the first of the year, and many people do a lot of shopping during the holiday season as well, during Christmas and New Year's, during that period of time. Let me also say that I'm pleased to report that in addition to completing the work on Robinson Boulevard, named in honor of Mrs. Amelia Boynton Robinson, and the rest of Franklin Road, in addition to doing that work, we will later on in the fall, after football season, begin the paving of the old Montgomery Road from the intersection of Franklin Road through the campus all the way to St. Andrew's Church. As you know, when you drive through the university campus, that road is very rugged. It's the old federal road. That road is now owned by the city, and we have the responsibility for keeping it up. And we're going to wait until, well, not actually are we going to wait. The university wishes for us to wait, and the state will not be ready sooner than that. We're going to do that paving after football season, because that's the time when the traffic is not as heavy, and we want to get the homecoming behind us and the football season behind us. But you're going to be very pleased once we complete the work on that road, as well as the sidewalk and other improvements. So stay tuned for that work. And here again is being paid for by a grant that we were able to get from the state. We're paving and patching out of our general fund, and that is a part of our budget, but it is limited. And when you see the resurfacing being done on some of these streets, is being done by grants. We love to get grants to fix all of our streets all at one time. And of course, we're going to keep trying to get more money in that regard. Let me also say again, it's a pleasure to have Dr. Brian Johnson as the president of Tuskegee University. Since our last broadcast, I have had a chance to meet with the president in person to share with him some of our goals, and of course he's shared what his priorities and his goals and what his goals are for the university. We will be cooperating. We will be working hand in hand, as in the past, to move our entire community forward. I indicated to the president of the university a top priority for us is 24-hour urgent care. That's a top priority for us. He also said that was a priority for him, because he wants urgent care available for his students, for his faculty, and for the university in general. So we hope to partner and work with the university in this regard. And indeed, a group of physicians have indicated their desire to provide an urgent care facility for our city. I have suggested that we use the building across from the nursing home, across from Magnolia Nursing Home. That building, we're presently paying a lease on it already, and it's not being used, but that would be an excellent facility. It was once used by doctors for medical doctor's office, and of course that would be an excellent facility. So we will be working toward that end. Presently, what is holding us up is updating a feasibility study. We did a feasibility study a few years ago on whether or not it was feasible to have 24/7 urgent care and indeed a local critical access hospital. That feasibility study said yes then, and I'm sure we could run 1,000 feasibility studies and they would all say, yes, Tuskegee and Macon County needs urgent care 24/7, because any one of us may have an emergency, get sick, have a heart attack, have a stroke, someone may get shot, cut, and you do not have time to make it to Auburn and Opelika and these other places. So we cannot give up on this. No one else is presently working on this, and I say no one. The Macon County Health Authority is not working on that. The Tallahassee Community Hospital is not working on that as a priority, and we therefore have to step up to the plate, the city, to get something done. We are open to cooperating with anyone who wishes to work with us on this, but we cannot wait, because people are dying and getting sick every day here in our community, and they need urgent care now, not tomorrow and in the future. They need it now. And so we are working on it, and I hope that citizens, you will also voice your opinion on this and come out to our various meetings. I also spoke to Chairman Maxwell the other day. He indicated that Haynes Ambulance, and we've had a chance to talk to Haynes Ambulance. Our city manager has had a chance to speak to them as well. They are interested in providing ambulance service to our county once again. They have assured us that they would have more than one ambulance available. If the ambulance goes out of the county, then they would get a call for another one to replace it until it returns. In other words, you need to have an ambulance at all times. In the meantime, keep in mind that our fire department is 24/7, and while we do not have emergency care there, our fire department is capable, and they have been known to save lives of people by giving them on the scene emergency type of care, and using emergency techniques and their skills to save the lives or to stabilize people in the time of danger. Now, we're not promoting that, but we do want you to know that the fire department, if they have a chance to save your life, they'll be willing to try. So keep that in mind. If someone is very, very critical, if you think they're having a heart attack or whatever, at least our people will try to do their very best. That doesn't mean we want you to try to sue them or hold them liable if they don't save your life, but we just want you to know that the city, we work for you, and any way we can help you, that's what we intend to do. Let me also say that on the utilities department, I wanted to come to you because recently Mr. John Tate, the superintendent of the utilities, sent a letter out to all of the customers indicating that we found that we had not met the state requirement in terms of the quality of water in just one site. What we do is we take random samples in specific sites throughout the water system. And the site near the Yellowstone, not in the Yellowstone, but in that area, I don't want to think that the water at the Yellowstone is not good, and I don't want you to stop shopping at the Yellowstone. But in that area of Old Columbus Road, when they took the samples, they found that because the pressure there was not as strong as it is in some of the other areas, the water had settled there for some time. The flow was not as active, and so the test was not quite. It was just a few percentages, not even a full percentage off. No matter how slight it is, if it's not perfect, that concerns us, and if it's not perfect, we are required to send out and notify you of that fact. Now, this was not a health risk. This was not, there's nothing wrong with the water. It just did not meet all of the clarification tests that is required. So I don't want anyone to panic at all. I drink the water every day, and I'm proud Tuskegee has some of the best water around. But that's why we sample it and test it every month on a regular basis to make sure that the total system, and we've had tests also come up from time to time in the past in some of the rural sections, the outlying sections of our water system where the water flow is not as strong as it is in the city. And so what do we have to do when we find this? We have to go in and we have to flush those systems. And when it's flushed, those water lines are flushed and through the fire hydrants, it may be discolored for a while, but it will clear up. So when we're flushing like that, we're doing what we need to do to clear that up and to make sure that that water keeps flowing on a regular basis. I am proud of our water plant. Recently we put several $100,000 of investments into the water plant to upgrade it and to improve it. We have the capacity to pump up to 8 million gallons a day. Right now we probably average around 5 to 6 million at the most. We take our water from the Tallapoosa River. It is then treated in our plant, and then it is distributed throughout our water system, which touches much of Macon County. We also resell to a number of the local water systems like Star Mendenhall and the county water system from time to time. We also work with them and cooperate with them. So let me sum it up by saying each of you were notified. That spells out the technical aspect. I don't need to go into the details and the technical. The only thing I need to assure you is that the water is fine. You're not going to get sick. You're not going to get ill for drinking Tuskegee's water because our water is fine. We also want to report that we've been able to brag over the fact that we've had 99% of our lights being on. You know, every time it thundered, the lights would go out in the city a few years ago. That was before we cleared all of our transmission lines. That was before we improved our other electrical systems and transformers that make it possible for us to provide electricity throughout the city and throughout most of the county. And I want you to know that our substations are operating fine. The thing that threw out the system the other day was what? Guess what? A squirrel. So we could have had fried squirrel. I'm kind to animals, but it's his own fault. He electrocuted himself. So it's not that we have anything against squirrels. I see Patrick laughing. The poor squirrel was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But that one squirrel knocked out about 1,500 lights, that go into your homes and to the businesses. And of course that will happen from time to time, not only in Tuskegee, but in other cities as well. Anytime you have that kind of interference. We thought someone had hit a pole knocking out the system. That will happen from time to time. But we want to assure you that our electrical system is fine. I know we're having thunderstorms and the lights may go out, but you can be assured of this. Two things I can assure you of. One, we're not going to increase the utility rates without having public hearings. Well, first of all, we don't intend to increase the utility rates. Rates are high enough. We're all complaining about rates, but that can't be helped because the cost of providing substantial and consistent electrical services costs money. And our rates are comparable to the Alabama Power Company and to all of the other cities that make up the municipal electric authority. So none of us intend to increase our rates. I know we do not on the utility system. Now, if you have a problem paying your bill, then let us know that, and we'll try to work something out for you. But rates have not been increased, and we do not intend to increase the electrical rates, the water rates, or the sewer rates, and all the garbage rates. Those are not our plans. We are now getting ready for the budget for the coming year, and we'll be looking at all of this, our expenditures as well as our revenue, and we'll have budget hearings before the council, but we intend to adopt the budget for the coming year by September 30, so that we can begin October 1st in the new budget year for both the city and the utilities board, and of course Head Start is ongoing as our federal agency. Let me also say something about the Head Start program. We asked the state, well actually the federal Head Start officials, to be patient with us because I have some concern about where we locate the Head Start office. There are some who have been trying to give the impression that we could do the Head Start building overnight. Well, you can't, because the city is going to have to build it, the city is going to have to raise the money for it, and if someone wants to build it overnight, then you go ahead and build it overnight if you've got the money. But if we're going to invest that kind of money, and if the city of Tuskegee is going to build it, I would like to see that facility in a visible place, in a place that has plenty of land, a place that will be safe for our children, and a place that all of us can be proud of. And so the federal officials in Atlanta, we're waiting for a response from them giving us permission to move to another site. We have a site that they've already invested in. They've drawn the plans, they've bought the land, but it's back there on that road behind Tuskegee Institute Middle School. I would like to have it on the main thoroughfare. Mayor Pro Tem Haygood has indicated also his interest. So the delay will not be much longer. We do expect to get an answer. I met personally with a representative while in Atlanta with the regional office of Head Start, and they have indicated that they will get us a response as soon as possible, and that we'll be able to move along on this particular project. Let me just simply say again that we do want to move forward with Head Start because we want our young people, children, to get out of those mobile units as soon as possible into permanent facilities. Let me also say that I'm very pleased that the city was able to join with the county and the Board of Education, and we all work together. I'm sure the town of Notasulga as well. We all work together to do some paving at Tuskegee Institute Middle School, the parking lot there, and I understand the Head Start sites in several places in the county. And working together, we can accomplish a lot. So we will hopefully be doing a lot with the Macon County Board of Education and the other cities, and of course the county. Let me also report that we're still working on Exit 38. We have been working to try and get the final signatures so that we can do a bond issue, which will, the first phase of the bond issue will be approximately $2.5 million, which will be used to purchase the land and develop the infrastructure, the roads and the paving. If you remember when Tiger Town was being built and when East Chase was being built, for a year or more, I think probably about 2 years, all we saw out there was developing the infrastructure. We didn't know what was going to happen out there. So we've got to first develop the infrastructure, acquire the land, and I'm pleased at Tuskegee University I met with President Johnson, and since he and I met, he also met with Roland Vaughn, who's been working with us on this project for some time. And the president indicated that the university does want to have some development in terms of a research park, in terms of having a building out there, in terms of that expanding into a East Campus, if you will. So they have consented to a swap in land, swapping some land that the university owned with existing landowners. And of course, once the swap is done, we'll acquire all of that land at Exit 38 on the south side is where we propose to develop. And we're still working to develop a hotel, to develop a 24/7 nice service station, a huddle house, and of course Zaxby's is waiting on us to see where they are going to finally be situated. They can't move ahead until we finalize the land. I want all of you to know that we're working on that very hard and as hard as we can for Exit 38. We've also met with a number of other developers who've expressed some interest in developing on the north side of Exit 38, and they have indicated that they have some resources available to do that. And of course we said to them, show me. And the other side of the interstate is available for development as long as it does not conflict with anything that we are already working on the south side of the interstate, Exit 38, I-85. Let me also indicate that the Utilities Board, there's nothing wrong. We decided, the majority of the board, to make a transition and make some changes in terms of our administrative staff. Mr. Gerald Long has served as our general manager of the utilities for some time, and Mr. James Samuel has been with the utility board, it seems like forever. He's been here for a long time and has done a good job. Both of these gentlemen have both done a good job. Mr. Long made it clear to us that he does not plan to relocate to Tuskegee. That's fine. However, I would like to have, as the general manager, someone who is here in Tuskegee on a 24/7 basis. Now I don't have to dwell on that. Why? Because when the lights go out, when we have emergencies, when we have storms, I want the utility board to be able to move quickly, and I want the general manager to call the shots. And as I said, that's no reflection. So we decided to just simply make a switch. Instead of Mr. Long continuing as the general manager, we asked him to be the assistant general manager for finance and administration. The other reason is he's very strong in that area. He is a CPA. He has a strong background on keeping up with the money, managing the money, making sure that the utility board runs as a business. He will continue to do that along with Mr. Jared Clay, who is the Chief Financial Officer. So they'll handle the inside operation of the business, the utility business. Mr. Samuel will be the outside man, so to speak. He'll be the one who's on call. He'll be the one who lives here in the community and responds to the emergencies and have the overall responsibility. Now, these two gentlemen work well together. So if it's all right with them and they say it's fine with us, there's no need of anyone else trying to create any kind of mess or to try to create some kind of friction. There is no friction in terms of the overall administration of the Utilities Board. Everyone knows what they're doing. There were folk who didn't think we knew how to run a utility system. When Mr. Ennis left, Mr. Ennis did a fine job, and these people are still doing a fine job. They're all professionals. Mr. Long is a professional CPA. Mr. Samuel is a professional person in terms of operating the facility, making sure that the customer service and the computer systems are working, so they complement one another. And I'm confident that they'll continue to do a job. That's all so there's nothing wrong, there's no concern. We're not going to miss a beat. And we'll settle on permanent salaries and those kinds of details as we prepare the budget for the coming year. Let me also say that I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone for using our utility system, being our customers. I want to thank our citizens for allowing us to serve you as the mayor and city employees. I want to announce that we're going to have a job fair that's coming up very soon. and we've invited our Human Resources Department and the Human Resources Department of a number of other agencies in the city have joined with the city. Perhaps you've seen this flyer around, Patrick, around the city, but it talks about the session that's going to be held. It's going to be held starting at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and it's going to kick off on September the 10th, Wednesday, at the Tuskegee Municipal Complex. It's the All-Macon County Job Fair. And speaking of All-Macon County, I met Chairman Maxwell. He's always so enthusiastic about his All-Macon County activities. I want to commend him because he does a great job, and he's excited about it. We're all excited about it. And it's kicking off tomorrow, the 22nd. I don't know when you're going to show this, but the 22nd and the 23rd are the days for the job fair. So we are looking forward to an exciting day. The 22nd and the 23rd. On my birthday, the 23rd, big 72. So you all have a good time celebrating at the All-Macon County Fair. Celebrate my birthday. I'm just so happy to be alive. It's, you know, nowadays we're losing so many of our special friends and people who have been with us here in the Tuskegee-Macon County community for years, and that's why I urge all of you. We recently spent a week at the Morehouse School of Medicine, mayors from across the country, and they talked to us about why people die, why people have health crisis. Well, they die because of their habits. They die because of their lifestyle. They die because of what they do. They die from, most of the time, preventable diseases or illnesses. And so that's why it is important that we take care of ourselves. It's important. People ask me, you know, how are you able to continue to do what you do? Because I take care of my mind and my body, because you have to be sharp to deal with folk in Tuskegee. You can't come half-stepping. You've got to be mentally alert and physically fit. And that's why I try to work out every day, either doing something physical, either at home or at the YMCA or out on the field or walking the lake. I was just talking with Mayor Mount. We're going to begin something called the Mayor's Walk. They have this in a number of cities across the country where the mayor of the city invites citizens to walk with the mayor, with he or she, whoever the mayor may be, whatever the gender, to walk in the morning and just walk and talk about issues, and talk about the future, talk about problems. People walk anyway, and it's a very informal setting. And they are doing this all over the country, where they have these walks and talks with the mayor. And I've asked the mayor of Edenville, which is one of our 5 historically black towns and historic settlements, to share that technique with us, and we're going to kick it off here in the city of Tuskegee as well. But as I was saying, at our session, and I want to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Satchel, who served as the former Surgeon General and the head of the CDC, who's from Alabama, for hosting us at the Morehouse School of Medicine. It's a joint effort between the World Conference of Mayors and the Morehouse School of Medicine to train mayors to be better prepared to deal with health issues in their cities, to train mayors to be the leaders in advocating of the prevention of disease and promoting healthy living in their cities and striving to have their cities become healthy cities. That's our goal in Tuskegee and Macon County. And so I want to thank them very much for that effort. Let me sum it up by saying I want to take this opportunity to welcome home all of the students at Tuskegee University. You are back for the school year, and I particularly want to thank and welcome those students who were stranded, if you will, for know better, if I can't use it better, who were being held in Liberia. I got a call last night from Anthony stating, and I spoke to Dr. Chum, who was with the students, and said that they had landed in Atlanta. They were back from Liberia. They had been tested and tried, and they were all healthy. They were all safe, and they have been returned to the U.S., to their families, and to their schools. So we want to welcome those students back from Liberia. As you know, the Ebola disease is something that is of great concern. That virus is of great concern to all of us. And I'm convinced that in time it will be cured and a cure will be found. But in the meantime, we're glad to have our students back. Welcome back, everyone. Have a good school year. To all of our students in the public school system, to the superintendent. I saw Mr. Samuel the other day. He looks great, chairman of the school board. We want everyone to have a good school. We're now ready for a good football season at the high school, middle school, Notasulga, Tuskegee University. Welcome home, welcome back to Tuskegee, home of Tuskegee University, the pride of the swift growing South. Thank you. I'll join you next week.